The FBI is now warning parents of a new modern-day domestic terrorist group labeled 764 that they say is targeting and exploiting children online. In a recent post on X, FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino writing that 764 is a, quote, heinous child exploitation ring that often targets children online and coerces them into acts of violence, self-harm, animal abuse, suicide, and sexual abuse. The FBI will keep working day and night to destroy this network. It is a top priority. Some of the FBI's most recent arrests, including in Baltimore, where a suspect was accused of targeting 5 minors, including one as young as 13, and in Arizona, where another alleged member was taken into custody for charges involving 9 victims, ages 11 to 15, accused of distributing child pornography, cyber stalking, and conspiring to provide material support to terrorists. And those not the only alleged ties, as there are over 300 other investigations tied to this group nationwide, including that tragic Antioch High School shooting in January, the Palm Springs fertility clinic bombing that happened in May, the Kenosha, Wisconsin arson spree in June, and those college campus swattings that took place at the start of this past school year. For more on this, we do want to welcome back in Tracy Walder, NewsNation national security contributor, former CIA officer and FBI special agent. Tracy, thanks for staying with us on this. Bottom line, what do we need to know about this group?
Well, thank you so much for having me. And I so appreciate, Natasha, that you tied in those other attacks that they are responsible for, many of which you and I have actually
Yeah.
talked about on this show, because it really is bigger than what I think a lot of people think, to the point now that they are investigating their connection into those ISIS arrests in Michigan and in Jersey that just happened sort of over the Halloween timeframe, if we remember those. This group was actually founded by a 15-year-old back in 2021, a 15-year-old and at the time a 17-year-old. Both of them have actually been arrested. One is spending 80 years in jail on child pornography charges. And this was really formed to fill sort of that vacuum that existed during COVID between, of young boys between the ages of 10 to 17. And 764 came from the area code in Texas, where the founder was located.
Wow. I mean, seeking to destroy society seems like a really broad mission. Is that truly what they want? Is that their goal?
Yeah, so we talked about this actually, you and I, when the fertility clinic
Right.
explosion happened back in Palm Springs, and we were talking about nihilism. That is what this group believes in, is this idea that there really is no point of living. There's no redeeming qualities in the world. And so as a result, essentially, the world needs to be stopped, which is actually why that fertility clinic was targeted, to try to destroy those embryos. That's where this idea of nihilism comes from.
Is this all originating from inside of the U.S.?
So yes and no. So those two founders that I just told you about are, one is in North Carolina, one is in Texas, but there is another individual who was arrested actually in Greece. I personally believe that this is worldwide because they're using platforms like Discord, Telegram, even Roblox to recruit. And we all know that the internet essentially has a worldwide
Yeah,
reach.
and it's really interesting that there seem to be so many arms to this. It isn't just the sextortion and the grooming of minors that we're seeing. There's also bombings of public places, school shootings as well that they seem to be encouraging. Let's talk about, what parents are certainly really worried about when they look at these reports. What can parents do to protect their kids from having connection, having access in these chat rooms?
So that's the hard part. And that's what I hope I can educate parents on a little bit. I think people don't necessarily understand how Discord works, Discord and Telegram, to be completely honest. They both have chat rooms. This is where a lot of this activity is taking place. The problem with those chat rooms, you have to be invited because you know someone into those chat rooms. So as a parent, that is incredibly difficult to track just from a web perspective. Obviously, Roblox is far easier, in my opinion. I don't think any child should really have unfettered access to that. Those chats are a lot easier. But I think if you're starting to notice behavioral issues, I do think, you have to start going through their chats and asking them to show you their Discord.
Yeah, what do you plan to do with your own child when it comes to things like this?
Yeah, so I guess I'm a mean mom, if you will. She does not have internet access. I actually do not allow her to play Roblox, even though she is 10. I am a vehemently against actually children playing Roblox, because I do think there is so many predators that are out there. I really do think that needs to be for kids that are probably 15 and older, who do understand a little bit more right from wrong. So I will not allow her to play Roblox. I will also not allow her to have social media until she is far more brain developed to understand it.
All right, Tracy Walder, always appreciate the time. Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.